Good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards, some healing energy cards. I'm here to create a space of healing and support that hopefully resonates with you. How I'm going to do that, or my sort of process for doing that, is I'm going to work with my healing energy cards. I'm going to pull a card in a minute and we'll see what it is, and then at the end I'll pull a card to go. And I have a drum here today, so we're going to be doing some drumming. So that's the plan. What I'm going to talk about, who knows at this point. So I'll be guided by the cards and the card that I pull and my intuition, and I trust that it will be relevant to something that we've got going on now. So we will see, and then I'll drum to support that, pull a card to go. So while you're coming over, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 24th, I think, Monday the 24th of July, and the time is exactly 9:21 a.m. Hello Rhonda, lovely to see you. Welcome everybody. Let's grab a card. So think of this as a guide. I do trust that you've been led here for a reason, so what that reason is will be personal for you. So what I would be doing if I was listening would be I'd be listening not only with my ears, I'd be listening with my heart, listening with my body, and really noticing the things that speak to me personally, but also the things that I have a reaction to, because some things can trigger a reaction, or trigger a need to defend, or trigger some type of response. I'm also looking for that sort of impact as well on me, because I want to know why, when it comes to triggers, why things trigger me. There's not really much that triggers me these days because I've worked on those triggers, and I do feel that my experience with them is that the triggers are linked to, or tied to, or being fed by our issues or insecurities, or something that we haven't really dealt with from the past. And so we have this kind of heightened sensitivity to something. It could be a word or something that's said, or a way something's said, and we believe a certain thing to be true that might be triggered by something someone else says. So I'm very, ever since I started my self-healing journey, which was in the year 2000, I have been very conscious of what triggers me, and then I have to find the courage to look at it. I don't want to be filled with a bunch of triggers, because that just makes for a very unstable life. It's like treading on eggshells all the time, depending on what those triggers might be, or how in-depth or intense they are. Hi Jeanette, lovely to see you, welcome. So let's grab the best healing energy card that the majority of us need right now. What do we need to know as we move into this space of support and healing time? So the best card for the majority of us is this. It's from my new Healing Energy Cards deck number 2. And it's this. Card 71. And it's called Release Expectations. It's in the new depth category. I say new because all of my healing energy cards have been categorized now, and this is our depth category. So this card wants to take us deeper into ourselves. Release expectations. I'm going to read what it says here. It says, don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the future. There's nothing to worry about. Release those expectations and worries about the future. Don't make assumptions. Trust in the flowing moment. You are safe and protected. Surrender disappointment. I always know if I've had an expectation attached to something, because I will be disappointed by whatever happens or whatever the result is. So if I find myself disappointed that something didn't turn out the way I wanted, then I know that I had a preconceived expectation attached to that thing or attached to that outcome. So disappointment is the result of expectations attached. I don't personally like expectations. I try my very best and have for years, and it works for me, not to have expectations about things because, one, it can lead to disappointment if it doesn't work out. Also, it tends to block the flow because we're putting a certain box around something and it doesn't seem to work that well. So I like to sort of create or do things in my life or send out intentions that aren't packaged in a neat little box, which are my expectations. I want to create in a way that's unique for that, whatever it might be, and then send it forth into the universe. If it doesn't produce results, it doesn't matter. I don't feel disappointed because I don't have a limiting gift-wrapped box of expectations wrapped around that thing. So when it arrives at the destination, when I get results or whatever it might be that don't work out the way I expected, there's no disappointment. It's like, oh, okay, let's go to the next thing. And if I can put something forth in my life, an intention or a project or whatever it might be, and it's free of that limiting box of neatly packed expectations, if I can put that forward and it works, I get a tick, it's successful, then I can enjoy and also bask in that without feeling like I've got to always weigh things up against my original expectation. I feel expectations limit energy, limit the flow, limit our potential for the future. It's limiting. So I find expectations, I don't want them. I don't want expectations at all. And expectations are probably similar in some ways to assumptions that we put onto things as well, when we may not have all the information or we think that that person means this when they don't at all. So I think having information is also helpful, especially when it comes to things like assumptions. Let's make sure we're not jumping to conclusions about certain things or certain matters that we might be involved with at this time. Let's make sure we're not taking things too personally. Again, coming back to those triggers. Because if we're feeling insecure in ourselves and we're interacting with people that might trigger those insecurities that we feel inside, we're probably going to feel flattened and small and low about ourselves. And it all is probably for nothing because it's probably just a lack or an issue with communication. Maybe we haven't read something correctly. I actually did that yesterday. I was bitter for about 10 minutes because I read an email and I thought the email said something else. And then because I was on my phone, and I don't tend to look at emails that much on my phone, but then when I got back on my computer and I stopped and actually read it, it's like, this is not what I thought it was at all. So actually that 10 minutes of being frustrated about what I thought the email said and what I assumed it to be without reading properly and having all the information, I had to really let that go because it was a bit of a fish slap for me when I read it, and it's like, actually, that's not what I assumed it to be at all. So I think we've got to be really careful. And it really comes back to the trigger energy, actually, that I talked about at the beginning or just earlier. You know, what's being triggered inside us and why? Why are we feeling insecure about ourselves? Why are we feeling limited within ourselves? Why are we feeling incapable? Perhaps we are incapable. Maybe this is not the right job for us, but maybe it is. So can we figure this out ourselves without sending ourselves crazy, perhaps? So our card for this time of connection and support is release expectations and see what happens. I like to remind myself to release expectations and let myself be surprised. Can you release your expectations about a particular situation you're dealing with now? Your expectations of a specific outcome or a specific thing? And can you be open to the idea of being surprised and we don't know which way things are going to go sometimes. So can we, and I guess, you know, it's, in some ways it's letting go of our need to control the outcome and trusting that things will be how they need to be. So we're relinquishing control when we release our expectations of an expected outcome. We're relinquishing our control, and we're trusting in the unknown to provide whatever outcome it needs to be for our highest truth. I trust that the universe brings to me in my life, and whatever the results might be, are in alignment with my highest truth. I trust in that. My higher truth, my higher self decides. And I may like the results, I may not. But if I don't have unrealistic, especially unrealistic, but expectations at all on that, then it's not going to flatten me and disappoint me when things don't happen the way I want. So I can let go of an expected outcome, or the outcome at all, let myself be surprised, trust that if it's meant to be, it will be, and trust that, for me anyway, that my higher self, my highest truth, it will happen in accordance to that, or not happen, and that's okay. And then keep things flowing, keep things moving, so that the expectation that's put onto something that doesn't happen, that leads to massive disappointment, doesn't flatten us for days or weeks or months or maybe even years, because it didn't work out the way we wanted and hoped so desperately. So if we can let go of our fear of the unknown, because I wonder if it's a bit of that too, our fear of the unknown, if we can let go of our hold on that, our wants and our expectations, our fear, our insecurities of the unknown, and let ourselves just move with the course, move with the river, move with the flow and the direction that we're going. And whether as doors open or doors close, or opportunities come, opportunities pass, then all this is part of that rhythm and the movement that keeps us going on our life's path. So releasing expectations as we're drumming. And this is also, you know, that first sentence is, I think, super important. Don't worry about the future. You know, so if you find yourself sitting here worried about the future, whether it's the future of your children or people close to you, your personal future, the future of your community, the future of your state, the future of your country, the future of the world, is this necessary? Is there any necessary good reasons that you can give to have that worry? I don't know that there's any good reason to be worrying about anything much, personally. I think worry is not productive. So if we've got someone that we love and care for that's going through a tough time, or we're worried about the world because of whatever reason that's big for us, we're not helping those people we love. We're not helping the world, and we're certainly not helping ourselves to be feeling sickly worry about something. So if I feel worry, if I'm starting to concern myself about someone I care for, or the state of affairs in the world, or whatever it might be, I try and replace that worry with love, because I think that's much more productive and potentially helpful than worry. Worrying's not helpful to me, it's not helpful to the situation, it's not helpful to those I'm worrying about. So I try and put worry aside and start sending these people or this person or the situation that concerns me, I try and project out and send out love. And the love is also a little bit like releasing the expectation, isn't it? So if we're worrying about something, we're also packaging whatever that concern is in a specific box, and we're wanting to send that, you know, that worry out. I'm worried that you're not going to pass your exam, or I'm worried that your relationship is breaking down. I'm worried that you're spending too much money. We've got all these boxes that we put around these. Well, I wonder if it's much different than an expectation that we're sending out to these people we're concerned about, or sending out to the world, or whoever we might be worried for. Is it really any different to an expectation? I'm wondering at this time as I'm speaking, because it feels like we're sending out something, whether it be worry or expectations for certain results or expectations for our future or whatever it might be. It's like we're sending these out from us in this box, a specific box. It goes out into the future. And then, well, if it's worry, it doesn't really do anything to help that person that we might be worried about. If it goes out into our future and it's a result we're expecting that doesn't happen, then it just leads to crumbling and disappointment and difficulty because it didn't happen the way we wanted. So maybe this is about looking at what we're sending out as thoughts, as intentions, into our future and into the lives of others that we care for, or the lives of the world, or whatever scope of worry or concern that may be happening for you, for us at this time. Maybe we can be more loving in our intentions that we're sending out. Maybe we can be putting less expectations on things. Maybe we can be okay with the element of surprise and see what happens as a result. Are you flowing well at this time, or are these worries and expectations and assumptions blocking your flow? Because they will block the flow. Because it's jolting, it's stopping and it's starting rather than a flowing on. So I hope I'm explaining this okay. Anyway, we'll go with it. So I am going to play the drum, the Dream Weaver drum. She is available on the website. See how she sounds for you. She's a beautiful drum. I'm going to play her. I have to unpin my microphone because it's a bit buzzy with the drum, just the microphone specs or whatever. So I'm going to unpin my microphone as I play. So there's nothing you can do wrong. I recommend that you listen to the drum and let the drum support you and hold you, and maybe give some further serious thought, especially if this is a problem for you. If disappointment's an ongoing problem for you, if worry is an ongoing problem for you as well, and these things are just quite consuming, especially in your day-to-day life, then it might be worth really thinking and sitting with these, the thoughts of these, and see what you want to play with and what you want to try to see if it works better. For example, if you're tired of worrying because you're a worrywart, you don't have to be a worrywart, by the way. If you're tired of worrying and it's stressing you out and you can't sleep at night and it's just not working for you, maybe try this different way and see if it works better. You don't have to take my word for it. Try it. Instead of worrying about your child or your parent or whoever, see if you can replace that worry with loving thoughts. I visualize you in improved health. I visualize you happy. I hope with my heart, all of my heart, that things work out well for you. But I don't have to specifically put what I'm worried about in a box to say you need to act better, you need to be more wise with your money, you need to, whatever it might be. So you can have a play and see if these sending different types of intentions out there works better for you. So I'm going to drum to hold the space. There's nothing you can do wrong. Enjoy, listen if you want to, and I'll chat with you when I'm done. Enjoy. beautiful. Thank you so much. I trust you enjoyed the drumming. It's so interesting. I was watching or looking at the illustration when I was drumming, and it's just so windy. There's so much wind and air. You know, she's flying a kite, her hair's blowing in the wind. And I was thinking about that in relation to what I've been talking about, and it is like air. And I think this is why I've been talking a lot as well, because when the healing tends to be more mental, there seems to be a lot more talking, because it's, I guess it's more aligned with that mental energy. So this, it might be helpful for some of us to work with the element of wind or breeze. It's funny because the card I shared today as well, and the healing energy cards, was the winds of change, and that windy energy blowing through. And it's not really that different. You know, I think of, you know, worry that we might be sending out, or expectations, or whatever it might be, intentions for the future. I see that as like a wind or a breeze, a breath, a movement of air that goes out into our future from our body, from this position and this current present moment. And it goes out and it goes forth into our future like wind or air or breath. So this might be a great element to work with. Luckily today there's not a breath of wind, yes, because we've had such windy, wild weather. So I'm going to be certainly enjoying that today like I have throughout the weekend. But it might be a good element to connect with. So this is the Dreamweaver drum, and she is on the website if she speaks to you. So thank you. If you just joined in, I was playing the drum and I was chatting with this card in mind: release expectations. Gone, be gone expectations that block the flow of energy and often lead to disappointment. So I'm not going to go through what I've just been speaking about. So if you just joined in, please go back to the beginning if you want to explore that further with me. So before I pull a card to go, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. And if you would like to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So I'm doing the healing support videos live on Facebook, and I'm doing my weekly video guidance live on YouTube, and then the video is shared back to my Facebook. So if you've been missing the weekly guidance, please subscribe to my Temple of Balance on YouTube, and then you should be notified, or at least see them come up, or check back on the page, because there are a lot of posts being suppressed. In fact, that reminds me, I've opened 5 readings for August, video readings. I only open a few every month, and usually they can go pretty quickly, like within an hour. But I've still got 3 left. That's how suppressed the posts are. So if you are inspired to have a video guidance, a video reading with me for August, I'm doing them within the next week by the end of this particular month. If you would like to, they're on my website, templeofbalance.com.au. You'll need to go to the store tab and look at everything in store, and you'll find the August readings. There's only 3 left at this particular point of doing this reading. They'll be closing on Thursday if they haven't sold, because I need to get the readings done. So it's very weird that they're still sitting there, but the posts are majorly suppressed as usual. But please check it out if you're inspired to. If you'd like to grab yourself a deck of healing energy cards, or my brand new healing energy cards number 2, then please have a look at my website there as well. And if you'd like to learn more about me and my work at Temple of Balance, you can also visit templeofbalance.com.au. Thanks so much. Okay, let's grab the best card to go. So this will be related to what I've already been talking about. And I'm looking for the best healing energy card that the majority of us need to know for what's next. So I'm thinking the next kind of 24 hours, how can we apply the changes that we need to make moving forward? What else do we need to consider moving forward from here? Meaning when we turn this off, how we're going to make whatever stood out for us count in our life. Welcome. Hi, everybody. It's great to see you. Okay, the best healing energy card that the majority of us need as we move forward from here. is this. It's also from the new Healing Energy Cards number 2. And it's this. Oh, I love this card. This has been coming up quite a bit lately. Card 80, Offering. Such a loving, soft card. Offering. It's in the rest category. And down here it says love, blessings, relationships, support, gentleness, softening harsh situations. Accept the offering that someone else is making to you, or do the offering if someone else needs something that you have to offer. Opening, gift, blessing, beauty. You know, the thing that comes to mind is this worry thing that I talked about a bit before. You know, sending worry, worry, worry. I'm so stressed and concerned and worried about this. It's not a sign of love to me. You know, like, it's funny in the world sometimes, and certain people that I've interacted with, and it's almost like a competition. You know, like, I worry the most, so I'm the most caring, or I'm, you know, I can't sleep at night because I'm so worried about whatever it might be. That makes me a good person because I'm so worried. No, it doesn't to me. Worries are quite a low energy, and it's very heavy. And it's very stressful and taxing on the body. And it's very hard to, not impossible, but it's hard to do much of other things when our mind is so full of worry. If our mind was a cupboard, a wardrobe, and 90% of it's full of worry because we're such a worrying worrywart, then there's only 10% left for new ideas to come in, or projects that we can develop, or new things that we might be inspired to learn. So if we can get that worry out and have 100% of that mental space to tap into whatever we want to tap into that's not worry, then I find that much better, much more productive. So this card reminds me of what I was talking about and what I like to do if I do catch myself worrying. I want to stop the worry. I want to get that out of my head, and I want to send love. I want to imagine this person I'm worried about, not worrying about them anymore, but I want to imagine that person I care for in love. I want to picture them surrounded by love. I want to see them happy. By worrying doesn't help them. So if I really want to help them, I've got to use my self-control. I've got to stop the habit of worry. I've got to get worry out. It doesn't serve any good purpose except consume us, which is not a good purpose at all. It doesn't serve any good purpose. I want to throw the worry out. I want to send love. I want to send love out to the people I care for. I want to think loving thoughts about them. I want to think of loving thoughts about my community and my state and my country and the world. I don't want to be worrying about things, especially things I've got no control over or I can't help in any way physically on the other side of the world. What can I do? I don't want to be worry about some war somewhere. I want to be sending love and really hoping and genuinely holding the intention that love will find a way to break through and bring peace or whatever it needs to be. So this card's just reminding me of that love that we send out. And when we send out love, we get love back. When we send out worry, what comes back? More worry. And then we just worry 90% of the time or all the time. I know people that worry so much. It's probably their whole life is just worry. And it's horrible to be around people that are so negative because worry pulls us into this negativity. So, you know, we can choose to stop the habit of worry. And if worrying is not working for you, if you're not sleeping at night because you're so worried, what can you do about it? Start getting the habit out. Replace that habit with love or whatever intention works for you. Hold these people you care for in your heart with love and see if that helps them, and certainly see if it helps you feel better and you know, more balanced in yourself and your life. So there's a softness to this card. There's an offering. There's love that wants to come out, and love not only coming out from us to others, but love also coming into us. So there is support here. There is love here. Things might not be as bad and devastating as what we think, or I could use the theme as what we expect them to be. So yeah, it was offering is our card. Thank you so much for joining me today and for staying the course. Have a great day, and I will connect with you again very, very soon. Take care, and ciao for now.